The man was sentenced to 18 years in prison just for stealing a loaf of bread. Every day he was submerged in water, doing the hardest work. Finally, the day of his release arrived. But the warden not only refused to release him, but also gave him an impossible task: to carry a mast weighing hundreds of pounds by himself. He used all his strength to lift the mast and walk to the warden, then slammed the mast down heavily. The warden had no choice but to give him the release order. But Jack was shocked to discover that the release order labeled him as a dangerous individual and required him to report his whereabouts to the police station regularly. This meant that what he had received was actually parole. Jack was furious, believing that he had stolen the bread only to save his son from starvation. But in the warden's eyes, once a thief, always a thief. After being released from prison, Jack tried to find a job, but with the parole order labeling him a dangerous criminal, no one was willing to hire him. Even the people on the street discriminated against him, and the children were no exception. They mocked Jack on the street and bullied him. At night, he went to an inn, begging the owner to let him spend the night in the stable. But the owner despised Jack for dirtying the stable and kicked him out. Cold and hungry, Jack had nowhere to go. In the end, he could only sleep by the door of a church. Just as Jack was about to fall asleep, a priest woke him up. The kind priest took him inside and prepared food for Jack in a warm bed. But Jack, who had suffered so much, could not believe that there were still good people in the world. So under cover of darkness, Jack stole all the silverware and hurried away. But he hadn't gone far before he was caught by the police. Just as Jack thought he was going back to prison, the priest told the police that the silverware had been given to Jack voluntarily and that Jack had left in such a hurry and forgot to take these 2 candlesticks. The police had no choice but to release Jack. The priest solemnly admonished Jack, hoping that he would make good use of the silverware and become a kind and upright person. 10 years passed in the blink of an eye. Jack became a boss thanks to the silverware from back then. Not only did he open a textile factory, but he was also elected mayor of the small town. One day, the female workers were bullying the new female worker. Jack was about to mediate between them, but when he looked up, he saw the newly transferred police chief, who was none other than Jack's former prison warden. Jack panicked instantly. He instructed the supervisor to handle the female worker's matter, then mustered the courage to approach the police chief. Although the police chief did not recognize Jack, he felt that Jack looked familiar. Just then, a scream came from outside. Jack rushed over to help, but this action almost exposed Jack's identity.